Monday.
Happy Monday.
I'm gonna be giggling today so bad. Hi, beautiful amber face.
Hello.
Welcome everybody to the Broadway Fan Club podcast. It is Monday, May 19th. How is it already May 19th? I do not understand, but it's here.
I can't even talk about it. I was booking an appointment for a patient at work for July, and I was like, July? It's July? I can't.
It's coming soon.
Yeah,
it's coming soon.
Wild.
But I'm also smack dab in the middle of the Orlando Fringe. Yes, I'm going to keep pounding this. So we literally have finished 5 shows so far. I have my temporary tattoo zombie bite for those of you watching on our live stream. It is not real, but I keep looking at it and say, damn, that's cool. But yeah, we are halfway through Fringe. I literally left the lawn of fabulousness, as they call it, to come do the podcast. And I'll be going back to the lawn to sweat my butt off in 103-degree weather because living in Florida is fun. Yay. Yeah, we skipped last week. I had food poisoning and then neck surgery, and then Amber was dealing with stuff. So I'm like, well, we're going to do it this way. And we've got an incredible guest who is going to charm all of our patrons and our viewers and strangers alike. The one and only Alan Seals is here from the Broadway Podcast Network, which obsessed. If you do not know anything about it, you're going to learn all about it today, including his own show, The Theater Podcast, which he's been doing since 2014 when he was 5 years old. But also he has an incredible background in IT, and I cannot wait to bring him on. So without further ado, drum roll, whatever you want to do at home to make him feel more welcome. Ta-da!
Hello! I'm about to have my 16th birthday, I guess, if I did the math right.
Yes. Well, it's only because, you're wise beyond your years here. So we're so glad that you could join us. And it's going to be fun because we haven't really had anybody on that's had their own theater podcast on our theater podcast.
Oh, really?
Really. We've had every kind of Broadway star and producer, and you were the first podcast person on the show.
Interesting. Well, I am honored. I'm honored with a H.
We are honored too.
So we can honor our UK friends.
Yes. Honor to our families and honor to our UK friends. Yes, no, we're really excited to have you here. I've been asking you forever to come join the show. And then I've also been begging you to let us join the network. So you know what, that's what
I wasn't begging. You've been patiently doing your due diligence, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's like, hi, hello, don't forget about us. Hello, hi, hello. But no, you've been great, and you've been doing this for so long, and it's kind of like you have without sucking up, you really have some standard for podcasts, especially theater coverage. It's been really kind of cool to see that.
I am losing you, Heather.
You're losing me?
Your sound. There you go.
Sound?
I could get into the technical reason why if we want to bore your listeners.
Yeah,
because
sure.
when Amber types, the echo cancellation on your side, Heather, is canceling it out because you're not wearing headphones and she's typing loudly.
See?
So
listen to me. When I say, don't, you're typing in my ear. This is great. Alan's going to be calling out our tech stuff all night.
No, this is why I take my Zoom meetings like this. This is literally just like my at-home. This is my office, my studio, my workspace, my everything. I've got all my equipment over here. The kids are on the other side of the door, safely tucked away. I'm good to go.
I was like, they're pretty quiet.
They're probably outside playing soccer, hopefully.
Okay, fair. They do need to do that.
Yeah.
Because practice makes perfect. Yeah, no, usually there's not an issue. Never. No, we've been having struggles too with StreamYard since he did some stuff, not to call out StreamYard on their network, but StreamYard's been a challenge, but we'll have fun with it. And if you can't hear me, I'll just project because I've been at a theater festival since last Tuesday. Is that better?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine now. Yes, I think what you were saying a second ago was that I've been doing this for a long time, since I was 5, which is not entirely true. Yeah, I started in 2016,
Your bio said 2014. This is how much I pay attention.
No, I've been podcasting for a while. My actual podcast started in 2018. Yes, 2018. Ariana DeBose was my first guest when she was in Donna Summer.
What a hell of a first guest.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starting off with a bang.
Right?
Yeah. I know her from North Carolina days.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Now, are you finding, since you've been doing this for a long time, and I'm going to just I see it. Are you finding that almost everybody with a computer or a cell phone is trying to become a podcaster, or are you finding more they're leaning towards influencers at this point?
2020, 2021, literally there was a supply chain shortage of the Yeti Blue mics.
Yes, I remember that.
Legitimately, everybody was like, I'm at home, I'm going to be an overnight millionaire, because that's what podcasters are. And
No.
and then they found out after 3 episodes that it's really hard work, and they're like, screw it, they pod faded. But that was the year of 2020, 2021. And then, yes, now 24, 25, with as wide as TikTok is, and with when you see everybody, not everybody, so many people are being cast now because of their TikTok presence and because of their Instagram presence, that it's kind of shifted that way.
Yeah. And I don't like it one bit, like as far as influencers are concerned, because I just want it to be, I just want it to be, sorry, I was like looking at our comment section. I just want it to be something, spam. I want there to be a benefit for people. Like, there are really incredible influencers who do a lot of good. And then there's a lot of people who are like, look at me. And Amber and I sometimes get called an influencer, and it's almost like, oh, and then we're like, okay, no, we're the good kind. Because we are helping influence a rather large group of people to do something to support the community. But, you know, it's interesting for sure. And we have to have a different kind of interview style. Where you hone it. Amber had never done a podcast before. I was like, hey, want to do this?
So, sure, I'll give it a whirl.
One of my favorite subreddits is TikTok cringe.
Okay.
Where some of the worst of the worst goes there.
What's your favorite on that thread, on that subreddit?
Oh, I mean, I can't pick a favorite. It's just people who are on there just like trying to be the most, they're trying to be the next Nostradamus or the next Gandhi or the, like, they're trying to just be the next leader in some thought space, and they come off sounding like such fools.
Ouch.
Yeah, Amber has, what was the alternative term that you used for the guy that we don't talk about on our show? The perspiring.
Oh, yes, perspiring prophet.
You know who we're talking about?
Is he orange?
No.
Oh, different person we don't talk about on our show.
Hold on. I will type it into our various super secret chat. It's really interesting because there's so much buzz. There's so much interesting buzz, and a lot of people, especially with cultivating our communities, we have to keep track, and I'm sure you do too, hosting so many shows with so many people kind of throwing stuff at you, is we have to really be careful about what kind of information we provide, and we like double check and quadruple check our facts. But there's a lot of rumors, and it's like, it's good marketing, but it's also terrible.
Oh, no. I am all in favor of a clickbaity headline, but when you put it out there, whatever you put out there needs to be factually accurate. 100%. Yes. I am so down with that. And that's why when someone's in the middle of something, I want to go talk to them, and I just want to get the story straight.
Yep.
So I'm like, all right.
So the source.
Yeah. Because usually they want to talk about it. Usually they're like, some people are afraid to talk about it, afraid to ask the person about it, and then when that person is finally asked about it, they're like, yeah, finally, like, this is what's going on, and it's really that simple.
Yeah, it's well, talk to me a little bit. I want to hear more about your experience in your past that kind of led you to the path that you're at now, because you really do have a good head on your shoulders, and when I get a chance to talk with you, whether it's businessy or not businessy, you have a different level of presence that I think a lot of people aspire to. And it's refreshing, to be honest.
Thank you.
Did you know you're going to feel good being on our show?
I appreciate it.
Like, Alan, you suck. Oh my God. Can you not? Like, thanks.
Okay, sorry. I'm just going to talk like this the whole time. And then we're just going to, My son came in and gave me a fidget toy earlier. He's like, if you get bored during the thing, you play with your fidget. So I'm not going to get bored, but
thanks,
I do like to have things in my hand because I probably have ADHD. I talk about this on the podcast.
I play with my hair tie.
Cheyenne Cook, as Joe Freddy says, just the facts, ma'am. That's right. Thanks, Cheyenne. Gosh, where do you want me to start? I mean, like, I'll give you the very, very abridged version. When I was a wee tyke, I loved to sing and dance and play soccer and baseball. For very conflicting things often. And then we got a computer. I fell in love with taking apart said computer. And I'm old enough to have had Prodigy when it cost a quarter an email when you sent more than 25 emails a month. That's when I started using the internet. Get off my lawn. And old man yells at internet cloud.
Oh,
And
Yes.
then and so then fast forward, and I've always been like doing sports and theater, and then I go to college for computer science, get the computer science degree, and then act with said degree.
Right.
I'm an actor for 7 years. Then the 2007 writer's strike happens. They're striking
Yeah.
over DVD residuals. Remember DVDs? You know, they're not
Oh,
just
I remember
they're
that
not
well,
just
yeah.
coasters, folks. And then
Or to put in your microwave and see what kind of electricity. Yeah.
I used to do that. You microwave the disc.
Yeah.
Woo.
We're not showing our age at all, folks.
No.
Nope.
Right.
I've never done that with Blu-ray discs, though. I have to say, I have to try that with
Now
Blu-ray.
the kids are doing it with the snack potato chip bags. Have you seen this?
No.
Oh.
They're making jewelry out of it. So they're taking a snack potato bag, like the little ones. They're obviously eating the chips out of it, and then they're shrinking it in the microwave and destroying their microwaves and using them to like make you.
Oh, if my kids do that, they're buying me a new microwave. Yeah. Yeah. So then, a professional actor, writer's strike, moved to New York during the writer's strike, never performed
Smart.
professionally in New York, fall back on my degree, end up at Thomson Reuters, and then Google for over a decade, all this engineering stuff. Strangely, the engineering side at Google connects me back with the Broadway side because people that I used to perform with a decade prior had made it to Google. I mean, had made it on Broadway, and I brought them into Google to do events and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then through all of that, ended up starting my podcast, reaching out to the friends that I had. And that's how I got all that started, which led me to my co-founder, Dory Berenstein, who is the lead producer of The Prom. And we ended up founding Broadway Podcast Network. And the rest is history. And here we are.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
And of all of that, is it weird? But the only question I want to know is how cool is the Google Office?
Which one? I've been to many.
Yes, right. Well, all of them. Yes, are they all cool?
Well, yes. I have to say, I joined at the end of it being a gigantic startup culture,
Fair.
right? In 2013. And it's become corporate because the people who were there from the beginning retired with their hundreds of millions. And then people who came in to run the company now they're from big pharma, big banking, and they're very corporate. And that's just how it goes. But like the Bay Area, the headquarters, they have like lap pools and yoga and rock climbing and biking. And you see really, the Vince Vaughn movie, The Intern.
Yes, The Intern. Mhm.
Yes.
Is pretty factually accurate.
Yeah.
Like those nap pods exist.
I want a nap pod.
The nap pods exist. Took a nap all the time. Yeah, plant walls, free food everywhere. But
Do they still have the Google goats?
The goats. I did not have any goats in the New York office. We had the building in the New York office that I was in, 111 8th Avenue, is the fourth
Wouldn't have
largest.
goats, obviously. Yeah.
Wouldn't have goats, but we did have plants all over the outside balconies. They had like on the roof there was a beehive. Beehive.
Yeah.
So they
Like a colony?
made their own bee colony. That's the word I was
Nice.
looking for. Yes.
You're
So
welcome.
all sorts of fun. They had scooters, so you could scoot from one end of the building to the other because it's the fourth
In the
largest building in Manhattan. Yep.
Okay, fair.
Mhm.
Very cool.
But
Yeah,
none of that has
I
to do with
worked at
Broadway.
I worked at Wawa corporate.
Corporate.
Wawa being a gas station chain, for those that don't know. And it sounds really weird, but their office was very Google-esque. It had emus.
A lot of companies would copy that style.
Yeah.
And it worked
emus.
for a long time.
They had goat yoga.
Goat
where my
yoga.
office was located. I worked between Florida and Jersey.
Did
they
you do
had
it?
Oh yeah,
Like
absolutely.
you had the goat on the.
Yes, the little
on your head.
goat. They're like right in your face as you're bending down. You're like, your breath is so gross. Please don't breathe on me. But you're
That's
really
rude
cute.
of the goat to tell you that.
Very yes, I know. I tried so hard to get rid of my halitosis. It's fine. But we had like a little 1950 style diner, which is where my office was. So like it was working like with like jukeboxes and stuff. It was really cool.
That's cool.
And then we could get like free Wawa food because they had the test kitchen there too. So like if they were running a test, it would be like a store inside. You pretend to go in and shop and order food. And then eventually you're like, I do not ever want to eat anything from here again because I eat it 500 times a day.
So off and on for
Fair.
3 years in the mid-noughts before New York, I worked at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, and
Okay.
there was a
Love it.
Wawa there that I got all my lunches from.
Yes.
So that's my.
What'd you do at Busch Gardens?
I was primarily in the Secrets of Castle O'Sullivan in Ireland.
Okay.
Did you
Actually,
ever go there?
I've been to that park. I did. There's Scream Fest, like COVID year.
Howl-O-Scream?
Is it Howl-O-Scream out there? Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that. Yes, they're Howl-O-Scream. We have Howl-O-Scream here in Orlando too, with SeaWorld and Busch Gardens here. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did. I was one of the stilt walking scarecrows during Howl-O-Scream
Okay.
in Virginia, and I did Fest House, the German show, and what was that? Yeah, that was it. I think I did a lot of contracts of Secrets of Castle O'Sullivan, which was with an animatronic leprechaun made by Jim Henson Studio. So
That's
that was
cool.
an experience.
That is very cool.
I can imagine.
Yes. Yes.
And now you're living your best life doing all sorts of theater stuff and telling me what's wrong with my tech on the first 5 minutes of my show. It's great.
Listen.
No, it's good. It's good.
Nothing like a live show to troubleshoot.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, there's been only two. I knock on wood. I think we've only had 2 shows where there were extreme issues, and it wasn't on us. It was great.
It's true. It was
only
on
2.
guests.
Yep.
And I think I fixed one of them.
Yes, you did. Yes. Amber pulled an Allen, so it's good.
I did.
But yeah, so talk to us. Tell us, for those that don't know Broadway Podcast Network, if you don't mind kind of giving them a little bit of a background, obviously a little bit of what you and Dory have created, but what your goals are and like what kind of home it is for people and what they can expect when they go visit, and then we can put up your link and talk a little bit more in depth.
Sure. At BroadwayPodcastNetwork.com, we have 185 podcasts now. A lot of interview style. That's it. A lot of interview style. We have a very solid collection of scripted comedies and scripted dramas, starring Broadway people. And one of my favorites actually is As the Curtain Rises. It's a fictional story about the fictional creation of Avatar the musical.
Yep. I've listened to it.
So yes, very, very good. And yeah, it's basically when I was thinking of it, I was just like, oh, it's the Netflix of Broadway podcasts.
It really is.
Part of the issue that I found, the reason I started my podcast full stop at the beginning was because I wanted to find the content and I couldn't find it. I wanted to find behind the scenes good conversations with good audio quality that were still active. I couldn't find anything. Everything that met the criteria was not still active.
Right.
And so I was like, all right, I'll just do it. I'll do it myself. And then as soon as I launched my own, a couple months go by, and it's just like all of a sudden, whoa, there's like 50 bajillion other people trying to do this too. And how come I couldn't find this when I wanted to find it?
Yep.
And so then it occurred to me like, oh, well, let's just make the destination ourselves. And
as we say, the rest is history.
The rest is history. Yeah, the rest is history. And yeah, we launched right before COVID. Never saw that coming. And pivoted virtually, and for a while, for a lot of 2020, we were one of the only places releasing content.
Yeah, and it kind of kept everybody going too. It's fascinating. You say like you're trying to create a destination, and one of our very first shows was with Jeff Calhoun.
Yeah,
do you remember that conversation? The 3 of us were all crying. It was like beautiful tears, but Jeff was like, as a little boy, I wish that I had something like this show. And that means the world to us with that kind of stuff. We've developed, like you can see in our comments section, these are our regular, incredible patrons who we've met 90% of them in person when we go out to different events. And it's cool because we're cultivating this community, but you have literally not only cultivated a community, you have like cultivated your own universe, and it's so cool. And the different shows participating, I gave Shelby a really hard time with the 20-Sided Tavern because I'm like, we've been trying for so long to get onto the network, and here you guys are with your own show. And Shelby's like, yeah, guys. But it's cool because you guys are helping break down the fourth wall a little bit, but you're also adding a little bit of canon, and people are getting the opportunity to listen to more behind the scenes stuff or personal things that different stars or different cast and crew and tech are talking about. It's instead of having that separation of wall of audience to stage to curtain to backstage, it's opening it up. And I think it's so important because it allows for people to not only have more education and understanding, but a bigger and better appreciation for it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it helps so much to be able to bring these voices to everybody who can't make it to New York every day,
Right.
or
Accessibility.
even once a year. Yeah, straight up accessibility.
Yeah.
And I think I mean, when you think about the union costs, and put on my business hat for a second, it costs literally millions of dollars to do a pro shot, and then even more to live stream something.
Yeah.
And so you're sitting here wondering why, why can't we just record everything and put it out there? Well, I mean, we could, but it all comes down to money. And when tomorrow's marketing dollars come from yesterday's ticket sales, then you're living paycheck to paycheck for most Broadway shows, unless you're a Hamilton or a Wicked, and you can't plan that far ahead. And part of it is.
Oh yeah, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say part of the cost prohibitiveness of all of this is union costs, and there's a strong value in unions, but I am in this particular case, I think it's very prohibitive in bringing accessibility to those who could keep the industry going.
100%. And like you've got people like George Clooney who's like, oh, well, I'm going to make it more accessible, and then tickets are going to be less expensive. And I think it's important, or having senior citizens in groups. I know that when we were talking about Mary earlier with Ken Davenport's group, they bring buses to pick people up and bring them to shows, but not everybody has that accessibility or availability. So it is key, and we kind of pride ourselves in doing the best that we can. Now, going back to something you said, and it's a question I've been asking a lot more of like our producer guests, because you also have that experience. You've been part of a couple of shows. You're also a co-pro for the Museum of Broadway, which we love Julie and that gang over there so much. And I cried the first time after 4.5 hours of being in that museum. But we talk about the Wickeds and the Hamiltons and even the Phantoms, and I'm a Phantom girl. What are your thoughts on those long-standing shows that have been around Chicago? Do you feel there's a very specific reason I'm asking? There's a heavy presence of long shows do not belong on Broadway because that's not what it was truly written and meant for. It's supposed to be a magical moment, not 30 years. Or you have, I'm really so happy that I can go back to my favorite show after 20 years and still have the same experience or a newer experience, better experience. Where does your brain lie?
My brain lies conveniently straight down the middle, and yes, and because I was going to bring this up a second ago, but this plays right into this question too. There's accessibility? Part of that is a massive marketing problem.
Yes.
And anybody out there listening who knows anything about nonprofits and can help me start something and talk to local, regional, city municipalities, let's do something. Because here's my plan, and this is going to answer your question.
Yes.
Is that there needs to be some sort of city subsidized, city funded national marketing campaign that is always run out of New York, always has spots being bought in regional places, spots being commercial spots like Pittsburgh, Chicago, Seattle, LA, all the places that have a lot of regional theater. The people that are going to pump tourists into New York. Tourism accounts for so many billions with a B of dollars of of money coming into New York. So the city should take notice. And then so if your ticket sales are under a certain amount every week or every month, make it monthly, then you qualify to get city subsidized advertising on the national level. Because to answer your question, one of the great things about long running shows is that they're running long enough for people to know about them. They don't need to have immediate marketing. Right? So, like, all of a sudden, my friend in Raleigh the other day is like, hey, did you know George Clooney's on Broadway? I'm like, yes, I fucking knew. Am I allowed to swear? I freaking knew that.
Yes, of course, here it's okay.
Okay.
I do it all the fucking time. You're fine.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, we knew that when it was announced a year ago, whenever it was, right?
Yeah.
So, like, being in the know, we know. if you know, you know. And then, so you're coming to see Hamilton, you're coming to see Chicago, you're coming to see Lion King, Aladdin, you're coming for the shows that you know are good because
Right.
you know they're running. Because tickets are so expensive, you don't want to pay for something that you don't think is good. That's another
Right.
problem too.
It's a gamble
Right.
for sure.
So the long running shows need to be here to attract a lot of people. Then
Yes.
while they're here, they can go see something else.
You know what I
And-
compare it to, Alan, and you might appreciate this, and I know Amber and I have talked about it. It's like an old school mall. Think of like the malls from the 90s.
Yeah.
You have your anchor stores. So I hear a cat. Is that Amber side? Yep.
Yes.
But you've got your anchor stores, your Macy's, your, at that point, Sears, Burdines, whatever. You want to go bougie or Neiman Marcus, Saks Fifth Avenue. But you've got those big ones that draw the crowds in, or the food court or the movie theater. And then you've got the newer shows, like Alan, you and I were talking about Boop the other day.
Mm-hmm.
You've got people who are like, oh, you know what? I'm going to be across the way at Sunset Boulevard. Oh, hey, Boop. Oh, that's cool. Maybe I'll go check that out. They're getting drawn over to the, Nicole Scherzinger kind of thing. And then they're going, oh, there's this random person I've never heard of, but it's Boop. It must be good. Let me check it out. So I do agree 100% on that.
Yeah. And a lot of the original content, I mean, if you can make it to the Tonys, you hope you get some nominations, and then you hope you might win some of them, because that's how you get the legitimacy. But then everybody I have told since it opened, Maybe Happy Ending, go see Maybe Happy Ending. It's one of, if not the best new show out there. Fight me on it. And
oh no, you'll get no fight here.
yeah, and I think it's so good. And everyone that all my non-theater friends are like, what should I go see? And I'm like, you got to go see the show. It's called Maybe Happy Ending. It's the best. And they're like, really? Like, can I really? We have this argument of like, I don't know it, so I don't want to go see it. And I'm like, I promise you it's going to be good. And every single one comes back and says, that's the best thing I've ever seen. Thank you.
Right.
And now I'm doing the same for Boop, right? I'm saying Maybe Happy Ending and Boop. These are the shows that are so new and so, I mean, is underrepresented the word, along those lines?
Undermarketed.
Undermarketed. Real Women Have Curves is so amazing. Buena Vista
They
Social
seem to
Club.
not be able to find their audience.
Yeah.
And I wanted to. Yeah, Buena Vista Social Club.
Yeah.
I mean, incredible dance, incredible music, Tony nominated, but no marketing or little marketing.
Which goes back to, let me ask you this question though. Do you feel like the influencers there are really required now, because anybody who is playing to the influencers gets the free publicity?
Yes, but can I go on my soapbox for a second?
I'm here for it.
You've heard the soapbox. I'll emulate it more. And I hope that our audience is listening and enjoying it. And honestly, guys, if you are listening in or watching us now and you have something you want to talk about, shout it out in the comments, because this is an open forum for sure. There's a difference between an influencer and an influencer. When you have somebody that goes, hi guys, this is Heather, get ready with me as I'm going to blah, 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 like that's not doing anything. If we're turning the camera around and being like, hey, here's where, like what Amber and I do. If we go to a show, hey, accessibility, there's an elevator here. This is the accessible bathroom. This is the house manager, so-and-so. If you feel comfortable enough to introduce yourself to them if you need help. Or we've had even Jeffrey Cohen had an issue with, he had just had surgery, and I won't overshare the details, but he needed assistance. And we want to empower people to feel comfortable about that. But an influencer that's posting like a quick little get ready with me as I have a cocktail, not at the show, but I'm going to get that dig in with the restaurant. No offense to any influencers out there. Please do not take offense. It's just not my style. You're going to the show, you're showing the same thing. It's a picture of the stage from your seat, or like the standing ovation at the very end, or the marquee, and maybe the stage door, and you're out. What information is it giving me? It's not talking about the show. It's not influencing me to go. It's just there, and it's constantly in my face, and you're paying for that click, and that's fine, and you're getting a free ticket or whatever kind of thing. I think it's more important to inform people than influence people so they make an educated decision, but to provide them that information. But TikToks and viral videos and Instagram does not translate to ticket sales always.
Mm-hmm.
It is here's a commercial, like with the little emoji with the arms up, like, okay, well, here you go. And sometimes it doesn't even make sense. I'm so sorry, I'm on my soapbox. This is a very passionate subject for me.
I have the emoji with the arms up as a hotkey on my system because I use it that
Same.
often.
Yes.
Same.
It's frustrating to me because we want to see everybody in this community succeed and build it up. Look, however you can get butts and seats is great, but the 14-year-old in Kalamazoo or, in rural Illinois is not necessarily going to be able to talk to I'm just using random places where I have family, but they're not going to be able to necessarily be able to convince their parents or their loved ones to be like, hey, let's take a trip to New York to go see this random show that we know nothing about. It's not cheap.
Yeah.
It has to be properly targeted. I worked with somebody who did social media marketing who did not believe in organic marketing and only sponsored ads. And I'm going, you have to be so specific with a sponsored ad. It has to run for a certain campaign time, not just a one-off and it's done for a week, but it's not doing anything.
Right.
What are your...
I 100% agree. I agree with everything. And I think it's little influencer and capital influencer, right? Yeah. And somebody speaking to hear themselves speak is not truly, well, okay, let me see. I think a true influencer is somebody who is ultimately influencing without meaning to. They're just speaking what's important to them, and they find people that want to hear that. And then TikTok cringe on subreddit or on Reddit, like that particular, subreddit, I feel like is the people who are trying to be, being a prophet. Yeah.
Well, they're wanting free stuff. That's literally what it comes down to. Pay me money, give me free tickets, and treat me like a celebrity.
Right.
Don't like.
No, you got to earn that.
Yes.
You got to earn it by by following what you believe in.
Yeah.
And I think.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying that's just part of like what makes this industry, I think, so special to me is that there's so many different types of people, and in all definitions of the word different, that all find a home here. And the fact that we can all connect and all just enjoy watching art be performed and created and
we can all sit down and shut up in the dark for 2 hours and 20 minutes of our lives, spend the time together, no matter our political affiliation, race, sex, age, religion, favorite color, but we sit and we have a joint experience together, and that is freaking magic. And that is what every time pulls me into the world of theater. Every time.
If you smoke pot, then you also have a joint experience. So.
Oh my God. Well, I don't smoke pot, but that's a funny joke, Alan. But yeah, I mean, so, ouch. Amber, you put yourself back on mute. Is that what happened?
Yeah, the cat is meowing.
It's not her cat.
Heather, what is on your screen? Do you have a cord across your camera?
What? Me? Oh, no.
It's a shadow. Oh, okay.
Pick it on me. It's fine.
No, I was like, I don't know what it is. I thought it was like a cord that was hanging down. Look, my camera flips up, so I'm off to the side now.
Oh, that's fancy.
So it actually hangs down, so I can look at you on screen.
Why are you so cool?
I
what
bought
Alan
it off
is saying
Instagram.
is that when we finally get the invite to come to the Broadway podcast or Broadway and not, you're going to give me all new equipment, right?
Well, we can help you. We will help you with some equipment. Listen, to your point about people finding the accessibility and finding these stories that they can't normally get, their parents will take them. One of my favorite things to do every now and then is to look in the listener stats across the network and see where people are listening from.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of listeners that come out of Russia and the Middle East and places where it is literally illegal to be gay. Yeah. And just there is so much oppression in a lot of these countries where we have such high listenership. And it's so nice to be able to know that we're getting these messages,
providing a service and not even asking for anything back except an ear listen.
Just an ear listen. Yeah. Lend me your earballs. That's all I want.
Earballs are so important.
Right?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was like the term, you have 2 ears to listen twice as much as you talk because you only got one mouth. Somehow I can't calculate that well, so I talk way too much. Well, talking about talking too much. We have some Broadway news. Do we want to talk some Broadway news?
We do have Broadway news. We do have a little bit of Broadway news.
Exactly. That's what I want.
Breaking.
Exactly. Breaking
Breaking news.
Breaking news. All right, Amber, you
Well,
want to start it off?
yes, I would love to. We had the Drama League Award winners that were announced, which is fantastic. My pal, I'm gonna say it, my pal, Nicole Scherzinger, took the
Oh, your
Distinguished
bestie's
Performance Award, which was incredible. We also had O'Mary taking Outstanding Production of a Play. Outstanding Revival of a Play was a tie between Eureka Day and Vanya, and maybe Happy Ending won Outstanding
Ties?
Production
Yeah.
of a Musical.
Isn't that crazy? It tied.
A tie, yeah.
Can you imagine if it happened at the Tonys? I don't think that would ever fly. Ever.
There's too much pride.
It's a popularity contest at best.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go
I
on, go on.
said it.
No,
loved,
absolutely.
I loved Eureka Day, by the way. One of my favorite
Yeah.
plays of the season.
Talk to us about it.
Did you see it? Did you get to see it?
I didn't get a chance to. Amber, I think, went to go try, and then there was something.
I did not get to see it. I did not.
It takes place in 2019, in a fictional daycare, a fictional lower school, an elementary school, in on like California-ish sort of place. So like everyone's kind of like Jessica Hecht plays the perfect sort of like California mom, you know, and Thomas Middleditch plays is awesome, like tech bro, of course, because that's
So you.
so well, he plays his character from Silicon Valley essentially, and anyway, so there's this measles outbreak. They are all board members of the school. They're trying to figure out what to do, and through all the measles outbreak, they find out that basically half the population is anti-vaxxers, and so the people that they were close with, all of a sudden, like they shared all this commonality with, they're like, we're great friends. We've got all this history. Our kids love each other. We're all play together. All of a sudden, like, should we not like each other anymore because of these fundamental differences? And it makes you question so much about what values are important to you. I left really, really thinking about what that meant to me and my friend group, because it's set purposely in 2019. Because at the end, one of the buttons of the jokes is like, and then 2020 and like the pandemic came, right? So it's like that whole thing. But so yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell. But the way it was done, it was just so good. And Amber Gray was perfect.
Well, Amber Gray can do no wrong.
Yeah.
But I love shows that make you think. Like I always talk about, like leaving the bubble. Like I'll sit at stage door. I don't care about pictures and autographs, whatever. I sit there to listen and talk to the fans. Because you're having a conversation. There's still shows that I'm talking to friends about. Even Amber and I still talk about maybe Happy Ending, and you just sit there and you talk and you theorize. And you're going, okay, well, is it the right side of the brain or the left side of the brain? Or like, did this actually happen or this actually happened? And it's fascinating. And I just want more, because if it's encouraging to talk about it, then it's doing its job.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
All right. Come on, Amber, as I monopolize the conversation.
We had some casting announced today. The remainder of the off-Broadway Heathers cast was fully announced.
Yes, it was.
Speaking of of social media.
Yes.
Speaking of social media, we had some very exciting names like Carrie Butler as Miss Fleming joining. These were announced last week. Mackenzie Kurtz, Olivia Hardy, and Elizabeth Teeter as the additional Heathers. We have Erin Morton as Martha, who is a social media person. And then
that is with the main cast. For those that do not know, Veronica Sawyer's the one and only Lorna Courtney. Holy cow. So excited to see her. And freaking Casey Likes, because he was wrong. According to most people online, he was born in the wrong decade, because he has found himself into this little niche, and I freaking love him for it. Alan, how do you feel about that casting?
I'm joining the chat. Oh, connect your YouTube account to join the live chat? Oh, okay, fine. I will do that. I want to paste in the link for... I'll do this when I'm done talking, so I don't sound like an idiot. I was going to paste in the link to Aaron Morton's cover of Creep.
Oh,
So
yeah.
good.
because
Amazing.
I don't know if this was part of the reason she got cast, but again, this is one of those things where
I'd
I'm like
like to
social
think
good.
it was.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Sorry.
everyone was
Got it.
saying, like, where were, why were people going to cast big names if they did that open call audition? And then you have Aaron,
hmm
who you can clearly tell was brought in from that open call audition and kicked butt. And
Well, the press announcement that I read said that two additional people in addition to Aaron were found from that open casting call.
mhm.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
they
they did seem to have a lot of success with that. They're doing with Dolly Parton 9 to 5 show is trying to accomplish as well, and Legally Blonde going back to that too. But yeah, I heard that they had found multiple people. Actually, we had a couple of our group members who had also auditioned, which was freaking cool.
ever since I saw Elizabeth in Beetlejuice, she was the perfect
Amazing.
Lydia, and
Yeah,
yeah,
she was great.
yeah, she was
Yeah.
absolutely wonderful. And I cannot wait to see her on stage. Of course, Carrie Butler being a podcaster on the network, I've known her for
Yep.
years. So sent her congrats this morning. She was happy.
Oh, she's delightful.
She is so delightful. One of the nicest people. I think it's great. That is one of the ones, Heather's, I'm very excited for, as well as Joy the Musical.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, cannot wait for
How-
Joy.
That casting looks awesome. I was
Are
really
you
excited.
going? Oh, with Betsy Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, are you going to be at the event next month?
The event next month, I just got invited to the press thing on Thursday. I don't know if I can make
Okay.
it, but but then I'm gonna ask about next month. So if I'm here, I would like to.
Yeah. Otherwise, we can trade these information.
Yeah, we'll
I'll
trade
be at
these.
the one next month. You'll be at the one maybe this month.
Maybe.
Yeah, Joy the Musical is amazing, and the crew that's behind that is crazy. Plus, Joy Mangano, like my mom knows who that is, and she got excited about it. Miracle Mop, QVC lady, and it's an inspiring story. There was a movie about it that came out a couple of years ago.
With Jennifer
Joy
Lawrence.
I'm sorry. Oh,
With
Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah,
Yeah.
love. But Joy had actually said the reason I watched Ken Davenport did this really great interview town hall essentially to kind of introduce people. Their goal behind Joy the Musical is to show people the making of something, like the making of, Joy essentially. And they were talking about how Joy said the only reason that she chose a musical is because there's no other way to celebrate life except with a musical. And I thought that was so profound. It's true.
I mean,
Yeah.
Howard Ashman said that there's a point in every character's arc when words aren't enough, and you have to
Right.
sing
Yeah.
about it.
Right. I
And
agree.
That's what he
Absolutely.
believes. Yeah.
I agree. Well, yeah. So moving on, Amber.
Well, Jeffrey Cohen stole my thunder with this one, but I'm going to reiterate that Good Night and Good Luck is going to be live streamed on CNN. It was
Crazy.
announced on Friday that it will be live streamed on Saturday, June 7th at 7 p.m. on CNN.com, CNN, and CNN International. This is like a Broadway first. Never before has a live play been televised. So this is
Yep.
huge.
It'll be interesting. What do you feel about that, Alan?
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing.
truly great. And
Do you think there's going to be any backlash from people saying, I spent so much money and now I could watch it online?
of course, there's always going to be somebody.
Someone complaining about something.
There's
Right.
always going to be somebody complaining about something, of course. But I think anybody who has seen an amazing performance that they still remember, they're going to be like, yeah, that's fine. Like, it's
Yeah.
Right.
watching it on TV is nothing like experiencing it in person.
No. Very different.
Absolutely.
Very
When you're
different.
sitting
But
there,
yeah.
I mean, even the worst shows, some of the worst shows I've seen are still good because of sound design or because of lights or just whatever it is. There's always something there that in the moment you can find to latch onto.
Nothing can replicate the freaking wind at Swept Away when the ship,
Trip sank. Yeah, that was
still
amazing.
to this
What's
day
been your
still one of my
favorite
things.
favorite effect? Have you been able to see Stranger Things yet?
Oh.
Speaking of effects,
No, I
No,
wanted
it's on my
to. My goal is within the next couple of weeks I will go see it. But I did watch the Netflix special of it. Did you watch it?
No, I did not. I'm writing that down.
Oh, there's a
Right now.
Netflix special about Stranger Things, the making of it.
It's
And
very
they talk
cool.
about everything in the West End, and they go through everything. They go through every special effect, how it's done. I feel like I've seen the show specifically because of the making of it, but I love the TV show.
Watch TV. There we go. Got it.
Yes, watch TV, very
This
important.
is my note for myself to watch
Yeah,
Stranger
homework.
Things.
You have homework. We are leaving you with homework.
Homework for extra credit. No.
Jeffrey
But
Cohen. Jeffrey Cohen said that in the chat, it's all in the camera angles. I 100% agree because it that will make or break a live a
100%.
pro shot. Because
100%.
sometimes I just want a static wide shot of my
Yes.
ensemble numbers.
No, Alan, you'll learn that Jeffrey Cohen has seen every show from the beginning of time that is so poignant and has the coolest merch you will ever come across and is the best company for brunch as well. We love him.
Yes.
A spoiler question. Yes. Jeffrey.
Have you seen Stranger Things to be able to answer this question?
I have seen it.
Okay.
And I want to go back. I've
Yes.
been offered a few cast members from the show to interview, and I want to go back to focus on them.
As you should.
Yes.
Do you want? I will ask Jeffrey's question. So Jeffrey says, quote unquote, this was the message he sent to me earlier. Can you ask your vast audience if the Broadway show Stranger Things takes place in any other year than 1959? Is there an epilogue that takes place much later? I saw the show and it was not clear. Most likely it was done on purpose.
I think it says literally in the playbill. Yes.
Yeah. Do you have the playbill in front of you?
Hold on. I might.
He's finding it for you, Jeffrey. Don't you worry.
It might be. So many wickets.
Oh my god. We're not even going to look at my pack next to me.
Like,
I don't have my.
I go
photos,
through.
but
This is
I
everything I've
do
seen like
have
this season. Let's see.
The Great
That's
Gatsby Ballet.
Floyd Collins.
Oh, nice.
Othello,
Hold on. Let me see what's
Where
closest
is
to me.
it?
Hold on.
Wicked.
Wait. What's closest to me?
Purpose.
You know what's
Ceremonies and
closest to
Dark
me? Can I make you jealous really quick, Alan?
What?
This is closest to me.
Oh.
You missed me reading it live on air. I will send you pictures before I get it shadowboxed.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, I got a letter.
Wow. Oh, hey, speak of the devil. There we go. There's some boob action.
Hey, boop.
Got some Dorian Gray.
Jeffrey
Harry
says it
Potter.
says only 1959.
Oh, one of my favorites, Cat's Jellicle Ball. Woo!
Yes. Oh, yes, Honored Shield.
I am here for all of these like Cats productions that are coming out. There's like Circus Cats. There
Yes.
are Country Cats, I think, that are coming out. I can't think of the rest of them, but there are so many like variations of Cats, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Big Gay Jamboree, my buddy Marla. Let's see. I can't find it. Anyway, so yes, it takes place, I believe, in There Goes One Kid.
Oh, he was peeking in.
I believe, and don't quote me on this.
The only information I can see is the opening scene is 1943. The rest of it is 1959.
Yeah, so it was in the 40s, and the opening scene is in the yeah, I knew it was in the 40s because in the 40s, that's what I was trying to find was the exact number of the 40s because that's when they're doing the government experiment that creates the Upside Down.
Spoiler alert!
It's in the opening act.
Spoiler alert!
Well, that's what I tell people to go see the show. They're like, because somebody said it's just the show, right? I said, no, it is. It's the
Right.
prequel to the entire show. You see,
It gives
when-
you history of everything.
gives you like how Yosemite was created and like the old Winona Ryder as a kid, a teenager.
And I love the Marquee Theater. It's a weird theater, but the history behind it, I just want to sit there and yeah.
Oh, we have a series on the network of shows that have all been through the marquee.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's been a lot.
Very cool.
I've seen quite a handful of them. What else is in news as we wrap up here? Because I feel like an hour just flew by.
What else? News.
We have another Tiny Desk concert.
Yes,
Death
we did.
Becomes Her. And I have to say, I love that the last couple of events that I've seen Jennifer and Megan at, they've both been wearing outfits that have been nods to their costuming. Like
Yeah.
Jennifer has had like a big centerpiece on her costumes, and Megan has had like slits or something on her neck or something. And I just love that little nod to their costumes in the show. I think it's adorable.
So smart. Alan, I'm assuming you've seen Death Becomes Her at least
Yes.
once.
Yes.
Amber and I went Halloween in
Oh.
ball gowns.
In ball gowns.
Was the rest of the audience were a lot of people cosplaying?
I think there were probably about 20 people because they were supposed to have a costume contest that kind of got a little askew. But yeah, somebody had a hand sticking out of their stomach, and I'm like, how were you sitting in that? But then again, I sat in a fully boned corset.
I'm sorry.
It was fantastic. But like I could have just fallen asleep right here. It was great. But we had a good time. But the show's so good, and Josh Lehman, wonderful.
Yeah, I'm loving all these tiny Broadway desks. I love Tiny Desk. I love all the Broadway versions. And to which I say, where is the maybe happy ending Tiny Desk?
Right.
I'm sure it's coming.
I hope. Fingers
Right.
crossed.
I'm sure it's coming. Alan, do you have a favorite one?
A favorite Tiny Desk or a favorite Broadway
Yeah.
show?
No, that's like asking your favorite kid, and your kids are in the next room. We can't do that.
A favorite Tiny
favorite
Desk?
Tiny Desk.
I have to admit I don't watch enough of them to pick a favorite.
I only know the ones that Amber tells me about.
One of the ones that still stands out to me, and I still listen to them, is Tank and the Bangas. Not Broadway at all.
Ooh, yeah, no, but NPR for the win.
But yeah.
I go Sweeney Todd.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. All right. What other news do we have? Because I know we're all crunching in time here.
Well, we have, I guess we'll wrap up on some sad news. Sunday was the closing of our beloved show Redwood, another original musical that did not make, two Tony season, which is sad. We hate when a musical has to close prematurely. We both saw it. We thought it was, a really great, emotionally moving show. And it's another, like we were saying before, just those shows that really
get lost.
Get lost in the shuffle, and that people don't really, they recognize the name, but they don't really know much about it. So they don't know, like, do I want to go see it? Would I rather go see something that I'm more familiar with?
Or something big and flashy.
But I really enjoyed it when we saw it.
Yeah. What about you, Alan? Have you had the opportunity to kind of get a chance to see Redwood? And what are your thoughts on the big flashy compared to the like punchy in the gut?
I think a good show should be both.
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
Tina Landau took 2 big swings this season,
Mm-hmm.
and say opinions be what they will. People either, for both of them, I think, are very polarized. I don't know anybody who's in the middle.
Yeah.
Right.
Because people walked away from Floyd Collins like, oh my God, that was life-changing. And I didn't feel that way. I'm glad some people did. And my disappointment was in the lack of use of the space of the beautiful Vivian Beaumont. They just didn't use the space.
I've heard that.
You have Lincoln Center Theater with this massive stage, and they just keep Jeremy Jordan
minimized
right there on the corner of the stage for basically the whole show.
And I've tried getting into the cast recording, like the original, and I'm just like, I can't, it doesn't resonate with me. And I feel like shows like that and Redwood, like, yes, you have these big name stars and they're really good at what they do and they have beautiful voices. The story is fantastic. It's just not something I'm gravitating towards. Do I want to see it? Yes. Having the opportunity to see Adina perform live and freaking belt and then climb a damn tree, super cool.
Singing upside down, like amazing.
Upside down and like bouncing, like totally a thing. But it just doesn't resonate with me.
There are people who like it, and you have to have big swings, right?
Yeah.
Like everything is a big swing. Look at how big every single game changer, like Oklahoma came in, changed the game.
Yep.
Rent came in, changed the game. Hamilton came in, changed the game. Like literally, like every one of those could have flopped so hard, but for some reason they threaded the needle and worked.
Yep.
And so any of these could be that thing. You don't know until you try. So, mad respect to everybody who not only writes it, creates it, but even invests in it, because you're even farther removed. You're just hoping, you're believing in somebody's vision.
Right. And I mean, here's the thing. Are there diehard fans of shows that I'm not necessarily a fan of? Absolutely. Do I respect that? Yes. Can getting in a room and hearing them talk about that? That's beautiful to me. Like, you don't have to convince me to like it, but tell me, like, show me why you love it so much. I'm a believer of it. And sometimes there's a conversion too of like, you know what? I don't hate the show anymore. I love the show. This is why, blah, 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 blah.
I mean, look at even something like Merrily, where it flopped
Yeah.
hardcore when it first came out. Was it 1981, right? And
something early. I don't think it was the right time for it.
And then all of a sudden you throw it out last year and it goes off like gangbusters. It could have run for years.
Yeah. Yep. But they yoink it back. And look at you with your numbers. November 16th, 1981.
Yeah, there you go.
But so on top, but it's so impressive too, because you have these shows, they come in, they hit you hard and fast, they leave. And I love that magic of it. But did I try to numerous times get tickets for that show? Yes. Did I? No. Did Amber? Yes. I want to be in that room still, and I'm looking forward to hopefully being able to watch a show eventually. But I lost the opportunity to do that, but it was a hard and fast show. And that's okay. But I'm a huge fan of Merrily, and I can listen to the cast recording, and I can enjoy, my friends' experiences through it. And I have friends that went to that show 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
Or more.
Did you see there was a joke on social media that after the Tony nominations came out that said the tickets for Othello were so expensive even the voters couldn't see it.
Yes, I did.
Like mean but funny.
But true. Well, how do you feel about this? I'm just gonna use this to like ask you questions that I would never actually ask you in real life, because this is fun.
Well, we should ask these in real life. These are fun questions.
You know what? I'm good. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna start doing that now in real life. I'm gonna like middle of the night and be like, I'm sorry, Alan and your family, but I need to know how you feel about this.
Listen, you can text me 24/7 when I don't want to be disturbed. I go on Do Not Disturb. That's what I tell everybody. I don't care what time it is. If I want to be available, I will be. If not, you won't bother me. So anyway, text me at 3 a.m. I love waking up to some messages.
Oh my God, I'm going to. Amber and I are both going to start messaging at 3. I'm setting my alarm every morning. Ticket accessibility and pricing.
Yes.
Yes, there's a premium when you have high-end actors performing. Yes, sometimes they're actually really good at what they do. Yes, sometimes it's stunt performing and stunt casting.
Mm-hmm.
Should it be more accessible with pricing, or should it stay as a premium ticket? Loaded question.
There are so many reasons why it should be both. Yep. But ultimately, when you go to London, you go to the West End, you can see your top celebrities for under £100 front row, just because the city subsidizes the tickets and helps with production costs and whatever that is. And so that goes back to the production cost conversation we were having at the very beginning. It is that it's so expensive just to break even with your normal cast, that then you add in somebody with salary requirements like Denzel and I'm sure Jake have.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it's, they probably are estimated when they were doing the pro forma and all their investment numbers and stuff when they first started of like, yeah, we're going to have to like go way beyond what we normally do. I don't know if they expected like a $900 or more. But they'll, producers are obviously going to keep going up and people pay them.
Right, exactly. If people are going to pay the money, they're going to keep selling them at those prices.
Something's only worth what people will pay for it. That's your number one rule of capitalism. So,
yep.
The entire system is flawed, and it comes down to the production costs are too high, and which means ticket sales have to be high, which means that the people who really will love to see it and who are going to create and continue the art form can't see it. And it's this nasty circle where something's got to give. And I've been saying this to whoever listens since, especially since COVID, we still haven't recovered to our pre-COVID audience numbers.
Right.
And it's
still going to take a long while too.
I don't know if we ever will unless something drastic changes, because we're dying. Broadway's dying a slow death because costs are going up while attendance is going down.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, it's not just cost of tickets, guys. We're talking like
Cost of
Hotels, flights, even locals, train tickets. Amber, it's how much money for you to take the train in from Connecticut?
it's like $45.
Yeah. And Jeffrey brings up a point. It's only
Yeah.
X amount of seats per theater, too. So, when you have a certain limited amount of theater, it's one time and you have to adjust accordingly. But there's shows, and not to keep talking about Joy, it is one of those shows I know I am really looking forward to. Alan, you as well. Amber, still getting on the train with it because it's so fresh. But like, they sent me an email the other day. We want to talk about accessibility. Like, I'm not affiliated with the show, but here's what they're doing. They're doing this VIP ticket, essentially, and it's a premium ticket package. It's a ticket. You get access to the VIP lounge. You get early access to your seats. You get to meet and greet with a cast member. You get congestion pricing and a train rebate up to $20. You get a t-shirt of Find Your Joy that's exclusive to this ticket, a free drink or snack, a ticket donated to Girls Inc., which is an incredible nonprofit organization, a signed by the cast playbill, an autographed CD, 10% off parking, 10% off restaurant partners, 10% off the other additional merch, and 20% off of Joy's specific products at her website for $79.
Like, if you go to the show, the shirt alone is going to cost $79.
The shirt alone
Right.
is like $50. A drink is $20 or a snack is $20. Yeah, isn't that like, I don't know how they're making your magic over there,
Good
but
for
like
them.
that is crazy.
Good for them.
But how many times are they going to do that? Doesn't matter. They're still going to sell those tickets so quickly because honestly, and Amber can attest to this, I am a lottery girl. I am a rush girl. I will TDF the hell out of something. But if it comes down to me sending $79 for all of that, or like $45 for a rush ticket, I'm still spending the $79 because it's giving me literally everything and then some.
That's your
Right.
value add. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Absolutely.
Well, let's see. Cheyenne Cook, like this girl, so many shows I want to see, but I also have to take airfare from Phoenix and hotel and take them into consideration.
Mhm.
And Cheyenne, not to like toot our own horns, but don't forget, we do have our hotel partners at the W Times Square and the Westin Times Square with cluster code E7103. Simply because they treat us so good, they waive the destination fees and give everybody a discount. So check that out.
Look at that.
But commercial break. But really, like, but it comes down to making it accessible in all forums, and I think that there is a shift. And Amber and I talked about it. We were talking about this 2 weeks ago, that this season was very different than last season, and it's still kind of like turning this corner of sorts. How do you feel, Amber? Like, I know you had some good points about that too.
I feel like the celebrity culture is really changing theater at this time. Like,
You
for
talking about
example,
like casting or
yeah, like the stunt casting thing. Like, I know it was announced last week that Good Night and Good Luck recouped after like something like 8 weeks or 7 weeks or something like that. And it just feels like we're heading in this direction, like with this and like with Othello, like we were saying, where like this celebrity engagement, like these celebrity runs are going to be like these like 10 to 12 week runs where they expect this like major recoupment. And, where it used to be like a 16-week kind of run.
right?
And it's going to end up costing a lot more. And it's going to cost a lot of work weeks for the regular ensemble actors and things like that. So I just,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like people are saying, and again, I've heard it. I don't know if you guys have. Well, I don't want to see a show unless there's someone famous in it.
right.
I don't like that.
Or when people get upset when an understudy's on. Like, no.
Right.
Oh, Alan, all of the time. But I will tell you, we have trained our fans in our groups, our members, because they're like, grumble, grumble, understudy. And then literally everyone's like, no, like, for perfect example, Gabby over at Cabaret, incredible Sally Bowles. And when Eva was out, or Gail was anybody, oh my God, blah, 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 it's an understudy, it's Gabby Campo. And they're like, meh, meh, meh. And everyone's like, nope, go see Gabby, you're going to love it. to the point where people are now playing understudy bingo with different shows. I saw this understudy, now I need to see this understudy. Amber and I have been doing it. Yeah, we're doing it with the MC. We've had I think the only one that you and all I'm missing Orville, but I haven't seen Marsha. Haven't had the average, but you collect them, and we work really well.
Like Pokemon, got to catch them all.
Yes, exactly. Exactly, but it makes me sad if that culture of, well, if somebody famous isn't in it. Yeah, but you don't know the next person that's going to be famous.
Right.
Like Jeremy Jordan started as an understudy in a swing. Like, come on.
Yeah. What did I added a credit? Oh, Motown the Musical. I was adding to the BPN site today, and I was like, oh, Ariana DeBose was ensemble in that. She was the ensemble in Hamilton, right? And then Stephanie J. Block, Laura Bell Bundy, all of these major people started out as understudies.
You have to start somewhere, exactly.
Yes, you have to start somewhere.
And understudies and swings, by the way, I will say this till I'm blue in the face, that swings and understudies standbys are some of the hardest working people in the industry.
Yes, because they're not only learning their tracks, but they're learning this, and they make magic happen because they have very little time to even know about it. And it blows my mind.
Or they'll go on without a finished costume. Because which means there was no put-in, which means there was very little rehearsal, if any. Do you know Celicia Thomas? The Celicia Show. Yes. She's got she's just one of the loveliest people in the world. She was a swing in Once Upon a One More Time, covered 12 tracks.
That's insane.
That's amazing.
And she went on for Cinderella, the lead, with zero rehearsal.
Right.
That's crazy.
So
how?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm impressed.
Brain, put it into another person's body and go. But that's so much pressure.
Yeah.
Pressure. That was opening. What was it? Second night of Death Becomes Her when they had to sew her into the dress. Or go to Macy's and go get the dress.
Yeah.
We here at the Broadway Fan Club appreciate the hell out of understudies and swings. I mean, don't get me wrong. Regular cast is great, but go to the show because you want to see the show. You can maybe go if you want to see that performer, but don't say, well, I'm selling my tickets because so-and-so's not there, because you're still seeing an amazing show, and you might find somebody you might like even better than, we'll call it Ryan McCartan for random no reason. I love him. Someone better than Ryan McCartan as Jay Gatsby, or, Orville might not be there. So go get a pasty. Who cares? Go see the show, because you're going to go see the show and enjoy it, and then come back again and know that you're going to love it even more.
Where's my applause emoji? Yay. Mic drop.
No, but I think we're all on the same page, but we're all very passionate about it because it only hurts the theater. Imagine you have a sold out house, and I'm, again, deep in the middle of Fringe right now. You have we haven't had this happen, luckily, knock on wood, but it happened to some people. You have sell out of tickets. Something happens in the Broadway theater, the off-Broadway theater, which it's not the hugest houses. You look out, and, well, now half the people are gone. Well, why? We have great ticket sales. Or Wicked. This is the silliest thing that I've heard. And yes, Cheyenne, support theater to support theater. Freaking right. I'm putting that on a t-shirt. But, Wicked. I don't know if you heard this. Amber has heard this story because we giggled about it. People are literally going and leaving at intermission because they don't want to ruin the movie for the second half. This?
Yeah.
Did you not know this?
Did you not know this?
Buying tickets to go see Wicked, and then they leave at intermission because they don't want to ruin the second movie for themselves.
They don't want to spoil their own
Correct.
experience.
The movie.
That's correct.
Come on.
Did you not hear that?
No.
Yeah, that's the thing that's been happening at a lot of the Wicked houses. Is they have tickets and then intermission, and now there are people that are leaving because they don't want to ruin the movie for themselves.
A, that's dumb.
Yes.
Right.
B, some people that I know went to see Wicked, and they're like, I didn't realize that the movie was only the first half of the story.
Right.
Yeah.
They didn't know there was a second act.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
it blows my mind.
Blows
my mind.
There's a lot of things about other industries we don't know.
Yes, and we could do this for like 5 more hours. That's great. Jeffrey Cohen, who will be the next MC in Cabaret? There's been rumors that have been going around in our group that we're trying to quell. I don't know. You want to take best guesses here, Amber? Who do you want to be, and who do you think it'll be?
I got nothing. I have nothing. I don't even have a stab in the dark.
Hugh Jackman. John C. Reilly.
With Sutton Foster as Sally Bowles.
Yes. Yes. That's it. That's it.
You talk about stunt casting.
Talk about some shit. No kidding. Okay, now I want that to happen. It's going to be canonical from now on. No, and I've been pushing Aaron Tveit for forever just because he's done so many of like miscasts and stuff. So,
what about somebody like a Norm Lewis?
I love Norm so much.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Norm.
Okay. Roger Bart as the MC.
Yes, that's it.
But only if he does Doc Brown's voice.
But the Casey Legs has to be.
Okay.
Sally Bowles.
Casey likes the Sally Bowles.
Yes.
Done. Let's do it. We're going to put a petition out for it. Yes, Casey likes as Sally Bowles. Wait. Oh no, wait. Hold on. Fräulein Schneider could be. Oh. Okay, Audra McDonald is Fräulein Schneider.
Leslie Margarita.
Okay.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one.
Yep. Who could be Clifford though?
Oh man, I'd like to see any of the Death Becomes Her cast.
Josh Lehman.
Lehman.
Exactly.
As Clifford.
As Clifford.
That would work. Okay, wait. But that would work. Hear me out. Because if Casey is Sally, it would be a really interesting dynamic of Casey versus Josh.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there for this.
I think we're on for it. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to start putting this up. We might put this up on our social media.
Do you ever do dream casting on the club across the fan clubs? Yeah,
all the time.
What's like your favorite show that closed too soon that you want to come back and dreamcast?
That's a hard question. Ooh, that closed too soon. Okay. Even though I love every single one of them, that closed too soon just because I want the freaking show back on Broadway, Swept Away.
I knew you were going to say that.
Cole. Yeah, Cole would be a good one too.
Cole would be amazing as the MC.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. That's a great choice, Jeffrey. Yeah, what about you, Alan?
There's another bold swing. Talk about I'm brain farting on the show name.
Oh, Mary.
Yeah, that's another big swing that has gone
off. That is a bold swing. Absolutely.
I want to bring back Peter and the Starcatcher.
Oh, I love that show so much. You have no idea.
That was where I fell madly in love with Christian Borle.
First off, love Christian. I had the opportunity last year. I was talking to him about it, where I watched his 9.5-minute death scene for opening. Well, it was like first preview, but producer's preview for Little Shop. 9.5-minute death of Oren. And I said to him, I just have to let you know I was there for that. He goes, oh God, I'm so sorry. I said, it was the best 9.5 minutes of theater in my entire life.
He would milk the hand, losing his hand, and Peter and the Starcatcher would turn into a 9.5-minute hand amputation. My God, Peter and the Starcatcher would be a hell of a show to bring back, especially now. Oh, I want to see that. Okay, who would you cast then? Oh God.
You proposed the question, so
I know. Oh Jesus. You've got Celia Keenan Bolger in there as well. Oh God. I think Andrew Barth Feldman would make a great Peter.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm there for it.
And Elizabeth Teeter for Wendy.
Okay, you do like Elizabeth Teeter. Okay,
I do like my Teeters. I do like my Teeters.
This show has gone off the rails in the best way possible. I'm
here for it. I'm here for it, and I'm sorry, not sorry.
No.
Oh, who would make
Oh,
a
speaking
great?
of Sorry Not Sorry, while you're figuring this out, at Fringe, we had a drag night for like Fringe After Dark, and a friend of mine produced the show, and a queen put together a 6 medley. I never knew in my life that I needed to see a drag queen performance of a full medley of 6, but my God, it was the best thing in the entire world. And I just sat there screaming.
She did every song, like the
Every single song for like a 5-minute performance.
That's kind of the best thing.
Incredible.
That's really cool.
I think she probably made about $200 in tips, and we all had to walk down to put it in the bucket. So we walked down the Voms to put the tip in the bucket because she was freaking everywhere. Oh yeah, incredible.
I don't know who I would cast as Hook. Amber, who would you cast as Hook? Someone Dreamcast, comedy gold, theater comedy gold.
I have one, but I'll wait for Amber to answer.
Nothing like dead air on a podcast.
I've literally words about to come out of my mouth. All right.
I
Well,
feel
while
like
you're
my
doing
brain
that,
is completely dead right now. I've got nothing.
you want to hear mine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Titus Burgess.
Ooh.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Mind blown. Mic drop. We can just end the podcast there. Done.
Yeah. that was good. That was good.
If I had a laptop, I'd close it.
I have a laptop. I don't want to. I want to do this for like the next 5 hours, Alan, but we can't. So because
Let's do a round 2 sometime. I'm always here for you.
Please, round 2. And then we'll certainly let everybody. Oh, it's my light starts fall. We'll let everybody know what's happening with only Broadway fans. Can't wait to.
Is that
talk about
are those real books behind you, or is it a poster?
It is a vintage wall separator.
A vintage
from England that I got at a. Yeah. What?
I see that now. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were in
nothing
like a
to see.
corner of a library.
Shh, it's a library.
Okay.
No, it's to hide all the junk behind me because I'm renovating my guest room. Because I, during the pandemic, bought way too many lounge fly bags for my own good. You know, little backpacks. Yeah, I have like 80 something of them, and I'm trying to sell them, so they're just all over the place. So this separates everything. Reality is behind this wall.
Okay, bring them to Broadway. Have somebody sign them from the shows you go see, and then give them as prizes.
They're all but they're all Disney bags, and there's not a lot of
Go to Aladdin or Lion King a lot?
No, because I would keep them in a heartbeat. I love me Aladdin. I know, but we do have some contests coming up. We have some signed playbills that we're giving away, and we have our Drag the Musical signed poster, the only one in existence, that we are going to be wrapping up our contest soon. That's for anybody that purchased it or pre-purchased it on iTunes or Spotify or anywhere where you can find Drag the Musical. The live recording screenshots can go right into the fan group, and then this poster is literally the only poster in existence. It has the entire cast, plus Joy McIntyre and Anna Pascal. And it is sitting in that room over there waiting to be shipped out to its winner.
That's cool.
Yeah. But in the interim, besides finding us right on www.thebroadwayfanclub.com, if you guys want to check out everything that Alan does, because he is so much cooler than he is letting on our show. I'm Fringe Fried. There's a cat. Alan's here.
This is Hugh's mewing.
Meow. I'm Mew Cat. Check out BPN, like Broadway Podcast Network.fm/TTP. BPN.fm/TTP. We'll post that in our groups and on our Facebook page and our Instagram as well. So you can go follow him and stalk him and ask why he couldn't come up with somebody better for Hook, for Peter and the Starcatcher.
Listen, them fighting words.
Yeah.
So, Christian Borle, if you're listening.
Yeah, I know. Well aware.
Let's figure this out. We'll figure this out. We're going to Dreamcast it.
Bring it out.
I did a Dreamcast of Little Shop with Norm the other day, where he was Seymour and Audra was.
Okay, I'm here for
Audrey.
that.
I love
That'd be
that.
great. But who's voicing Audrey too?
Patty LaPone.
Love it. Love it.
Oh no, I want to see Patty as an urchin. We could do this all night long. All right, we appreciate you so much, Alan. Thank you for hanging out and hanging out longer. Thank you everybody in La La Land for staying with us and I am so fringe fried right now, and I'm about to go back out to the lawn for another 3 hours and absorb as much local theater as I possibly can. And as Cheyenne said, support theater to support theater. I'm going to leave it on that. And remember, every Monday night we are here 8 p.m. Eastern, because when Broadway is dark, we keep the ghost light burning. So thanks again for joining us, Alan. We appreciate you. Everybody have a great week, and we will, I'm going to say see you next Tuesday, and that's going to sound so bad, but it's true because we've got a Tuesday episode next week. Have a good night, everybody.
What does that mean?
I said it.
See you next Tuesday, folks.